Hi guys, welcome back to Dress Your Face Live. This is a very special bonus class that I'm offering right now. You guys absolutely loved when we did her makeup for the makeup version of this class. Now this is part 2 where I get to show you the hair recreation of that beautiful exotic floral Mehndi bride that I posted on Instagram a little while back. It's a very colorful look, as you can see. This is what we recreated, and now basically all that's left is the hair, and I definitely did not want to leave you guys hanging with the hair portion. A lot of you loved that side pony, and it's actually not even a real ponytail. I'm going to explain to you once we get started, but it's really just a flowy side look with a little bit pinned in the back. There is a poof involved, so it will involve a little level of skill. So if you guys have never done hair before, I think it'll be fun for you to practice a few times with this class and see how you progress. And I would of course love to see your progress pictures by you posting it on your Instagram pages and hashtagging Dress Your Face Live so I can see how you're doing, and then I'll know what else I need to teach to get you guys on the level that you want to be at. So here we go. Without further ado, welcome to part 2, the bridal hair class. First things first, I'm going to show you the tools that we're going to be using so you guys can be prepared. For any of you who want to kind of join along and do the whole hands-on thing with us, go ahead and have your model ready, and these are the items that you're going to need. So a really amazing straightener, basically. You need something that's super hot and super smooth and not damaging. What I use is obviously the one that I made, no bias, it's pretty amazing. It's called the Tamana straightener, which is a part of the Tamana complete styling set, only available on BombayHair.com. The thing that I love about it the most is the fact that it is tourmaline, and it's one of my favorite metals to use for heat tools because it actually seals the cuticles and makes the hair super shiny and smooth and bouncy when you're using it. So it minimizes that damage that a lot of other flat irons can cause. And I know that ceramic irons are very popular too, but just be aware with ceramic products because a lot of the times it's just coated in ceramic, and then as you use it you'll notice the coating wearing off over time, and then it exposes the plates underneath, and that's when it's not going to be very even heat distribution and it won't last very, very long, which is why I chose tourmaline, because I love this metal 1,000 times more than I love ceramic. So I hope you guys love it. For those of you who got it, definitely let me know how you like it. I love hearing your reviews, and hopefully we can expand the line, get some more products out there. So this is what I'm going to use. As far as the hairspray that I'm going to use, it's Tresemme, always Tresemme. Number 5 is my favorite. It's the strongest one. You can actually brush it out too if it's ever too crunchy or you feel you use too much. Once it dries, brush it out, and it's as if the hair is good as new. So our model actually probably won't even have to wash her hair tonight. Really. I mean, afterward, you could just brush your hair and it's like, oh my gosh, it's just light and fluffy. It's like I just washed it. It's like a blowout in a bottle. So anyways, Tresemme number 5 is what I always go with. Also because I've tried other really strong hairsprays, and when you brush it out, or like, let's say you put too much on, it turns white and flaky, and I've never experienced that with this. So I'm a big, big believer of Tresemme. And as far as other things, we're just gonna need some bobby pins. These ones I buy by the pound at Sally's Beauty Supply or any beauty supply store. And then of course I love my Layla Milani Miracle Brush and What a Tease comb. And then these clippies come with my Tamana set, so we can part her hair and keep it out of our way with these alligator clips as well. So at this time, we're gonna go ahead and prep the hair, get it all ready for this amazing side do. So I'm going to use the Layla Milani brush to just give her hair a nice smooth brushing throughout. So I'm going to turn her around so you can see her hair in general. Also, just so you guys know, I am going to apply some hair extensions into her hair. The hair extensions that I'm using, here's a brand new box of them. It's the Tamana hair extensions, also from BombayHair.com. And it is the ombre line, which is what I launched a while back and kept selling out. And I know you guys were getting like, oh my God, when are you gonna get it back? Well, it is back. We have a huge warehouse now, and so we're pretty good on stock. So I'm going to be using these beautiful dark brown to a golden kind of a caramel tone ombre hair extensions to match her hair exactly. I'm only gonna be using a few pieces just to get that like poof curl in the front so it looks super big and fluffy and amazing. And of course the hair extensions do come with a free Tamana brush so you can detangle them and keep them really healthy so you can keep them pretty much forever. By the way, if you guys like this color, I'll read it to you. It's the Espresso to Ash Brown. Espresso to Ash Brown. So that's what that is. I'm gonna go ahead and brush her hair now. So I'm gonna turn her around so you can see the back, and we're just gonna brush and smooth out all her hair so we can start curling it with a straightener. Okay. So first things first, I like to start with the bottom. Okay, so we're starting with the bottom section of the hair, and the rest I'm just going to clip aside so it's not in our way. Okay, and as you can see, one alligator clip is enough to hold all that hair up, especially the ones that come in my set. They're pretty sturdy, so you don't have to worry about using too many clips there. And now, in slow motion, I'm going to show you exactly how to curl the hair with a straightener. So I'm going to start from the root, and I'm going to start literally twisting the entire iron one complete turn, and slowly, slowly pulling this hair right through it. You want to go slow and steady. Slow and steady. And then what you're going to see is a cute, bouncy curl. Adorable. And then you might want to just give it a final twist before letting it go. So I'm going to put this cutie pie curl aside and start working my way to the other side of her hair. And mind you, I'm not using any product in her hair, not right now. I'm going to wait till this whole section is done before I hairspray it. Again, slow and steady, slow and steady. Feed that hair in. As you get to the ends, you don't have to be so slow because the ends are usually a lot thinner, so you don't have to spend too much time putting heat on it. All right, and now we're gonna make sure all of this is curled really cute and set it aside and work our way back to the other side. Again, slow-mo, I'm wrapping all the way around 360 degrees and slow and steady, feeding the hair in. I know a lot of you out there have had trouble in the past using a straightener to curl. So that's why I definitely wanted to show you again in this class to make sure that you guys get it down. If by chance it's just not happening for you and you're just not, getting this movement, this twist movement, I have no problem with you using a curling wand. The set actually comes with a curling wand as well, which looks like this, and it has 3 different attachments. So you can choose which size you want to go with. I usually go with the 1 inch. It's pretty universal. And you can use the wand instead if that's easier for you. It's not a huge deal. The reason why I choose to use a straightener instead of a wand is because for me it does 2 things in one. It straightens the root in case my model's root is a little curly, and it can curl the rest of the hair for me in a very uniform, even way. And it's just like a one-touch type of deal. The wand works really well if you're working on someone that does not have curly hair to begin with, so it's fine. Even on this model, I could have easily just used the wand, but again, I really wanted to show you how I would use a straightener in this case. See how cute that is? Aw, look at it. Twink, twink, twink. Okay, so we're gonna finish up this section, just 2 more pieces. As far as how much hair to put in there, it depends on how thick your client's hair is or how thick your hair is. If your hair is really thick, use thinner sections. If the hair is not super thick and it's more on the thin side, then you can go a little thicker and use 1 inch to 2 inch sections like I am. Again, slow and steady. Feed the hair into the straightener. And you can go a little faster once you get to the ends. Give it a little wrap around, let it cool down, and let it join the rest of the family. And now we're ready for that last piece. One full turn like that, and slow and steady, you're gonna pull it through. As far as how hard to grip the iron, I'm gripping it pretty strong, but not too hard that I can't let the hair move through the iron. So you have to know that right balance of how tight or how loose you want to go, but you definitely don't want to grip it too loose because then the curl is going to be very, very limp. Look how cute this looks. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now that all this is done, I'm going to give it a nice soft wash of hairspray. All right, there we go. Hairspray done. Now I'm ready for the next section. I'm using pretty big sections because it's not like it's a Hollywood wave where every curl has to be perfectly uniform. It can be different sizes, it could be different directions, completely up to you guys. So starting from one end again and working our way over. The setting that I have my straightener on is at 450 degrees, which is the maximum. If you're working with someone with extremely fine, extremely bleached, extremely damaged hair, you want to lower that to maybe in the 200s and see if it works. If it's not curling at 200, 250, then you can raise it to 3 or 350. But I would stay away from the 400s unless they have super thick and resilient hair, and then you'll be okay. But that's what I love about tools that allow you to set the temperature. Ours has a digital temperature setting, so you always are aware of how hot it is at all times. And we're just gonna get all this hair curled. Beautiful. Okay, that part's done. Moving on to the next section. You can even use a traditional curling iron to curl the hair. I remember back then when I had originally done that bride, it was years and years and years ago. It was before I even created this tool set. So at that time I was using an actual traditional curling iron, the kind that has the clamp. So it was not a wand, it was not a straightener. So, and the size of the curling iron that I used back then was 1 1/4 inch thick. So if you guys are using curling irons, or if you guys have a curling iron or several curling irons at home, the one that I recommend is the 1 1/4 inch. It creates nice, full, bouncy curls. 1 inch will also work fine too. Once you brush it out and start styling it, it opens up, so it'll get a little bigger anyways. But I would say 1 1/4 is my absolute favorite. All right. Almost done with this section. And we're just feeding the hair in, making sure everything looks perfect. And as you can see, if there's any areas that are super straight, I go back in for a second straightening or curling round. There we go. Hope you guys are getting it. Definitely practice, practice, practice till you're a master at this technique. It does save a lot of time doing it with a straightener. Looks so good and shiny, healthy and bouncy already. Last one on this side. Beautiful. Look at that, you guys. So pretty. And now time to spray them all, lock them down. Gorgeous. I'll give you a little peek at the back again. Very nice. All right, next section. Clip on the top, and now we're ready to do this, and then after this is just one more final section and we're done prepping. Believe me, the actual hairstyle is very fast. Sometimes the prepping takes a little bit longer than the actual hairstyle. With updos, prepping shouldn't take too long at all. It should only take 10 to 15 minutes, but the updo takes time. But for a downdo or a side do, I do spend a little bit more time on prepping because if most of the hair is down, I need the curls to be really perfect and really pretty. So I do take my time making sure that everything looks extra good. Okay. I am loving it already. And there's so many different variations that you can do with this side do that we're about to do. So keep in mind, once you guys understand the techniques behind this particular look, you guys will be able to create hybrids and create your own versions of this look because you'll already have the basics down. Same with all my updo classes. Once you get those down, you'll be able to do so many other hybrid do's. Even if I'm not teaching them here on DYFL, you'll still be able to create them because you have the basics down. It's all about the basics. Have a strong foundation and just roll with it. Alrighty. Okay. We're just going to finish up here. Some of the other questions that I get all the time from my students regarding hair is, how do you want your clients to come in? Do you like to work on wet hair, or do you prefer them to come with dry hair? What's the deal? And my answer is, for me personally, I do not work with wet hair. I prefer to work with dry hair because, number one, I'm not a professional blow dryer. That's one thing that I just never enjoyed doing and never got amazing at blow dries. And as far as someone who wants that blowout look, I can create that look using hot tools on dry hair instead of working with wet hair, which takes longer. So for me, what's more time efficient is making sure my clients come in with fully dried hair so that I can get right to work with them. If they come in with wet hair, all of a sudden I'm behind schedule because first I have to dry it, then we have to style it, then we have to do the updo or whatever it is that they came in for. And it really does eat a lot of time. So if you guys are working out of a salon, of course, usually the assistant takes care of the shampoo blow dry or the blow drying or whatever, and then the senior artist will go ahead and get in on the updo, or however you want to do it, or maybe you might want to put aside 2 hours for their hairdo. But for me, I work out of a personal studio. I do not have employees or assistants. I prefer to work alone. It's just more calming and soothing on my clients, and we can have that, you know, one-on-one relationship and not feel rushed or awkward or anything. And plus, my clients want me to do it. That's the whole point of them booking me, is they want me to do it. So I prefer to do all the work myself. And for that reason, I do ask my clients, okay, come on in with dry hair. And sometimes if my clients are like, oh, but I have super, super curly hair, do you want me to put product in it? Or do you want me to blow dry it straight? Or how do you want me to do it? The answer is, I don't want any product in your hair. I'd rather it just be completely natural, because I'll do that part. You know, it would be awesome if they can blow dry their hair straight. That would be great. I wouldn't want them to straighten their hair with a straightener, because sometimes they can leave the hair very limp. But when they blow dry their hair straight, it still leaves volume. So I don't mind that. That's totally fine with me if that's what they want to do. But worst comes to worst, if somebody comes in with super frizzy, curly, unruly hair, as long as it's dry, I can go in with this flat iron and do exactly what I'm doing here, and it's still gonna come out this silky. I have worked with the nappiest, curliest, roughest, wildest hair in the past, only using this. And I'm sure a lot of you saw those clients on Snapchat. It wasn't so long ago that I had clients like that with very, very frizzy, curly hair. And just with one swipe of this flat iron, it smooths the roots, and you can still create that perfect curl the way you want it, which is totally different from their natural hair. And it lasts a really long time. Until they wash it, basically, the style will last. So there's absolutely no problem if someone has very, very curly hair. I don't mind doing it. But I do know that that is going to take a little extra time, because I have to go a little slower to smooth the hair out. So hopefully that answers your question. Of course, this is, you know, a personal thing. If you like to do blow dries, or if you feel like you'd rather curl with a blow drying effect instead of flat iron or curling iron, then that's totally fine. All right. So, almost done. Giving it a nice spray. Alrighty. Final section. Now here's what I do with the final section. This is what I always do for my clients. I have them look ahead in front of a mirror, or however I set up the area, and I ask them, okay, tell me which way do you want your hair to go? Because we're going to have to choose a side part for this look. So whichever part she wants, let's say if she wants all her hair going on this side, that means all her curls will be on this side too. If she wants the other way, then it's going to be the other way. I usually do not mix and match and have the bang go one way and the curls come the other way. I feel like it's not as aesthetically pleasing to the eye. I like all of it cascading on one side. So which side do you want your hair parted? That way or this way? Okay, perfect. So now that she told me which way she wants her hair parted, I'm going to go ahead and create her part and then finish the curling. That way I can change the direction if I need to. So I would say this is where I would love to put the part, and then I always ask my client, you know, is this okay with you to do it over there, or do you want it like a little bit more diagonal? Ooh, I like this. Is that good? Okay, we'll leave it at this. So now all this hair is going to be curled down. All this will create a wave. I'm going to show you how to do the S wave again. I know it's been a while. And then you'll be a little bit more understanding of where we're going here. But eventually all this hair is going to be right over here. It's going to be big curls. We're going to add extensions once we're done with all the curls too. I like to do extensions at the end just because I don't really need extensions everywhere if all the hair is going to the side, right? I'd rather put the extensions on the part that's really going to show. So back to this. Let's go ahead and finish up these curls. So I'm going down, curl, smooth and curl all the way, feeding the hair very slowly and evenly throughout. Perfecto. And we're going to start working any other areas that we didn't get before. So I'll get this whole area here. A nice big curl. So I'm going to go really slow because slightly thicker area right here. Slow and steady. Stunning. Work our way back. Take this back piece, finish this up. Slow and steady, you guys. Never rush it, otherwise you're gonna have to do it again. Nobody wants to go over it twice. Anytime you see any knots in the hair, get rid of it before it enters the iron. Awesome. Now we have all this hair that we're going to be doing. So at this point, I'm going to go back to sectioning. We're going to start at the bottom and then work our way higher and higher. Okay. And smooth. Beautiful. This piece too. And if you ever see any little straight pieces in between, make sure you get those. Smooth. Feed it in. All right, we're good there. Now moving on to the next piece. Okay, so we're going to take this section, split it into two, and curl the same way. And very slowly bring those in. Smoothing the ends before they get into the flat iron. All right, and I'm just gonna give it a little spray just so it doesn't get too frizzy. And now the very, very final piece. Doing these two sections, and I'm gonna over direct. So I'm gonna actually pull upward before I flip over so that there's a lift at the root. That's gonna help us with our S wave. So go upward and then flip over and then pull. All right, final spraying. And now we are ready to actually start with the styling and updo process. So the prepping is done. We have to start teasing and creating a nice big poof right on top so we can get all this hair to one side. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave the bangs alone for a second. So we're going to section out the bang. So I have literally gone from the top of the bang all the way down to the side of her ear. And I'm going to section this away so it's not going to touch everything else I'm doing. Now I can start teasing. So we're going to start with this side here. And I'm just going to tease right at the root and spray. Tease and spray. And that way we don't have a very flat side of the head. We have a beautiful amount of volume on both sides of the hair. So this we're gonna leave alone now. We're gonna work on the back. See how it's sticking out really nice? Okay. So starting with the very, very top, I'm going to heavily tease the root, spray and flip forward, and keep working until I've reached about halfway down her head. With every section you tease, make sure you spray the root of that section, otherwise, if the hair is really silky, it'll go undone. And all that hard work will be for nothing. So you want to make sure that every time you tease really strong at the root and you spray at the root. Now I'm not spraying to the point where the root becomes wet. It's just hardened, that's all. Spray. Tease. I would say tease about 2 to 3 inches of the root. And spray. Okay, once I get right here, so now we have this much of the nape that has not been teased yet. At this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take bigger sections and I'm gonna go in a diagonal way. So notice how we went horizontal this whole time. Now I'm gonna keep in mind that all this hair is gonna end up over here to the side. So I'm going to take sections diagonally like that and start teasing so that eventually when I bring all that hair over, it can stay in that nice diagonal direction. Okay? So another diagonal, tease, spray, And our last diagonal, right in there, tease, spray, okay? So now the whole head is this big poofy mess, but believe me, once we get started, this is gonna just be amazing. So now we can start bringing all this over. Look how beautiful. There's a nice poof going on back here. Nothing looks flat and weird or distorted. And piece by piece, I'm bringing down every section that I teased, and I'm spreading it out so that there's no holes in between. And it's going to look amazing. Okay, so now that all this has been spread out, we're going to use a bristle, kind of a teasing brush, boar hair bristle, and smooth the very, very top of this teased mound up here. If you have trouble brushing out tease and then it gets flat again, one of my biggest tips is to actually put your arm right in the area and brush over your arm so that it doesn't flatten the rest of the hair. And that way you leave your arm and now you have a nice smooth, poof, and your arm literally saved the day. Once you have a good poof going on, you can spray the top so it actually stays put and doesn't look all crazy. And then we make a little decision. Do we want to keep any of this hair down, or do we want to bring it all back into the updo? Or we could even just leave a few pieces coming down and the rest back into the updo. So I usually like to have my client tell me what they prefer. Normally, can you pull up your phone, the picture that I sent you, so you can see what that looks like, and then you could tell me if you love that exact look, then we can do it that exact way. So like the picture that we're going off of has a few little tendrils coming down on that side. Do you want to keep those, or do you want it all coming back?
I want to keep those.
Okay, perfect. So we are going to leave just a few little cutie pie tendrils coming down in the front, and the rest going back. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave these two for now. I might even make it a little less once I'm done with the rest of the styling, but for now I'm gonna leave these out because it's easier to have more out and then put some back rather than putting too little out and then having to pull later, because then it could pull the rest of the hair. So be a little bit more generous with that part. Now I'm gonna smooth all this, and you can take a look at the back. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna take half of this hair, as if it's a half up, half down do basically. Smooth it. Spray it. Make sure flyaways are softened. And I'm going to give it a twist, just one twist like this. And I'm gonna poof it up with my twist. So see how it was a one-time twist, and then I prop it up to poof it up. You could also stuff this with other hair inside if you want to stuff it with fake hair or whatever. That's fine too. So now I'm going to use a regular bobby pin, and I'm going to fasten this so that it can anchor into place, and then it won't move. But just to make sure that my bobby pin doesn't slide off, I'm going to use another bobby pin and stick it right through the first bobby pin into a cross, so it just does not move no matter what. Like a little kid can pull on her hair and be like, Masi, you're getting married, and it's fine. Nothing's gonna happen. So now that this poof is done, I'll have you take a look at it from the side. It's pretty sexy, I have to say. It's pretty amazing. And of course, at this point, you can still Can you believe it? You can still make this bigger. You can still move around the shape just by using the end of a teasing brush, a rat tail comb. And I just made it a little bit more grand and a little bit more round, as you can see. I brought the roundness out, and I can move it around, and once I'm really happy with it, I'm gonna spray the crap out of it because I want it to lock into place, and I want her to enjoy her Sangeet night, or whatever this night ends up being. I want her to enjoy it and not worry about her sweating off her makeup or sweating off her curls or messing up her hair in any way. So I'm really going crazy with this. Really, really going crazy. Okay. And I just like to give it a little, bounce so I can keep this looking as round as possible. No egghead, no lopsidedness. I just want it to look very Bollywood and very pretty. All right, so now that we're done with this part, now we can actually put in some extensions. So here's the fun part. We're gonna get right inside. I'm gonna create a little pocket here. Okay. I'm gonna put this hair aside, and right in this pocket, this little pocket that we created right here, I'm gonna clip in all the extensions we're gonna use for her, because I really don't want to put extensions in places I don't really need it. So I'm gonna focus more of the extensions on the side of her hair so that all that grand curl can really show. Again, I am using the Tamana hair extensions by BombayHair.com, and me, of course. And this is the Espresso to Ash Brown, I believe. Yep. Brand new set. And here's one of the bigger pieces of the collection. I'm gonna smooth it out. Look how gorgeous that looks. Oh my God. Looks so good. And see how it's just gonna blend in so great. So I'm gonna stick that in. Mind you, I am not putting any clips on this side. Why? Because all this is gonna be brushed over. I don't want you to see the clips. I don't want anyone thinking that she's wearing extensions. I want people to just focus on her and not the artificial parts. So these extensions, I'm clipping in 2 clips, and I'm just gonna fold this over, okay? So it's doubled up, and I'm going to bobby pin over so that the width is nice and small and tight, and I'm not risking showing any of the clips. This is how I do it for updos too. I only apply extensions on the areas that really need it. I don't throw them in all over. Okay, so now that that piece is done, I can go down just a little bit more and throw more extensions right into this pocket. Okay, so now, I know this looks so crazy, but we're gonna have all this area that we're gonna stuff in another big piece. Okay, so I'm going to use another larger piece from the collection. Another 4-prong piece. Believe me, we're not gonna need much. These are so thick. Okay. And now, digging in, we're gonna focus more on the side of her hair. Okay. And any clips that go over the edge of her hair, I literally, okay, Let me turn so you guys can get a better look here. So see how 1, 2, 3 clips I clipped in, and then this one is gonna end up going right here by the perimeter of her hair. I'm actually going to flip it over because I don't want it close to the perimeter. I'm gonna flip it over and just bobby pin it into the previous section. So this is all gonna be hidden and it's really secure. So nothing's gonna make it like go loose or anything like that, okay? So at this point, I have the 2 pieces of hair extensions in and I'm gonna bring this all down. And what I'll do is move the pieces that have already been curled aside, and I'm going to start curling the extension pieces. Okay, so I'm going to clip out her own hair, move it aside, and focus on all these beautiful extensions. Can you believe all this hair right here is only from 2 pieces of extensions? That's why we really don't need more than that. It's pretty amazing. So back to the straightener. We can put it at 450. These extensions are really thick and amazing. So you can go ahead and set it to the hottest. And slowly allow it to curl. Wrap it around, put it aside, work the next piece. I love these so much. My God, they look amazing. And they totally match your hair. The cool thing about these particular extensions is that I added highlights in between. And that way, instead of having a regular fade from dark to light hair, those highlights allow your real hair to blend in a lot better. So it doesn't look like you're wearing a separate piece of hair. It looks like it's blended into your own hair so perfectly, nobody can guess that it's extensions. Because these are brand new extensions right out of the package, I am taking my sweet time to curl them because I know that they're going to be a little resistant. They're my virgin extensions, so they've never been curled before. So you might have to take a couple extra seconds per section to make sure it does a good job curling. And then sometimes I go back into the middle section and give it one final twist before I let it go. Ooh, look at all this hair. Okay, now this is a really thick piece, so I'm going very slow with this piece. Very, very slow. Feed it in. Slow and steady. Take your time. Twist it. Oh my gosh, how beautiful is this? Okay, put it aside. We'll do a few more sections and then we'll be done. Then I can show you what I do with the bangs. I'm going real slow with these, real slow. nice and warm. Pull in the ends, final twist, wrap it around and let it cool off right on the side. Now we're going to split this last into 2 pieces so we can finish up here. Twist all the way. We don't have to go as slow as the other ones. This is slightly thinner. Feed it in. Beautiful. Twist, cool off. Last piece. This piece I could feel it's a little thicker, so I'm going to go slow again. And we're almost done. Make sure you get the ends. Never ever forget the ends. It's the ends that show the most in this hairstyle, so do not neglect it. And now that we are done curling, we can finally bring back all those previous curls, rewrap them so they're nice and curly like the others, smooth out any teased out areas that look too rough. And we're gonna bring them all to one side. So I'm kind of going in with my hands and smoothing out her own hair to match the extension hair so people can't see a major difference. Stunning, and look at all this, look at all this. Oh my God, I can't. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break from all this hair and I'm going to now tease this side of her hair so you can see what's gonna happen here. It's gonna look very, very beautiful. Let me just make sure this is nice and curly, curved, I mean. So we're gonna start off with this very, very top section first. I'm picking it up at the root and I'm teasing that root really strong and heavy. Okay, and spray. Next section, heavy tease. Push that tease all the way down to the scalp. Spray and put away. Next section, same thing. You want this teased all the way to the scalp. Push it all the way down. And spray. We're going to go all the way down with this. And last piece. And spray. Okay, now that all of this has been finished off, we're going to take piece by piece, spread it out, and lay it across. And I want you to see the front real quick. Very voluminous. So what I do at this point, because yes, it's very messy, very teased, crazy looking, I'm going to give it a little spray just to make sure I can still work with the curls and everything and do all that fun stuff. And I'm going to use this soft bristle brush to smooth out the parts that show. So basically the hairline area and just a little bit off the top. Okay? Once you've smoothed it enough, you're going to go back in and spray the baby hairs because we do not want any of the baby hairs getting on her jewelry if we do a headpiece or anything like that. And now a final kind of a brush through. And you can see that height right in here and how regal it looks. So I'm going to turn her so you can see the side view and see what I'm about to do next. So now that we've established the height, we have to smooth the curl. We have to smooth the edges so that none of the teasing looks too gnarly here. All right, beautiful and smooth. Now, I'm going to start bringing all this hair, smoothing it with my fingers to allow a beautiful curl right up front. All this is going to be to the side. And now I can start working on creating a nice flow with this hair here. So I'm literally creating a curl, recurling basically. And if I want, I can add it to the hairstyle, or I can let it be free. So before I add it to the hairstyle, I do my free-forming curls and I show my client to see if she wants it to be loose. The only drawback of having totally loose hair is that, yeah, when you're dancing and twirling, it can get a little wild. So it is a little bit more beneficial to have more pieces tied up, pinned up, or secured in some way. But again, not a deal breaker. You can totally work with whatever your client wants. So right now I'm just smoothing out every curl. And I'm going to create this S wave. Now she doesn't have bangs, she has longer layers here. So I need to somehow create an S wave that looks like an S wave without looking too long. So in this case, I do have to pin a little bit of hair to create that S shape. So I'm going to take a bobby pin and I'm just going to throw in a bobby pin right in there to create a little S shaping. And if you want it a little lower, you can always move that bobby pin a little lower. It's not a big deal. But there's a lot that you can work with and a lot that you can manipulate at the end of a hairstyle. So don't worry if things aren't looking amazing. It's not like you're totally finished with the hairstyle. You can still work with it. Right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of playing with the front of her curls to make sure that they all blend nicely and her own hair is looking nice and smooth up against those extension pieces. Oh my gosh, it looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, now let's start working on the back. Let me give you a quick look at the front though, just so you know what I did. But I basically just spread out some of these curls and made sure that they didn't look ratty or crazy or anything. So now looking at the back, I need to make sure that I'm creating a pocket for some false flowers, some beautiful faux flowers. So I'm going to, at this point, bring in some hair, just some, maybe from here. And I want to create some little twisties. So, ooh, right here would be a good piece. Okay, so I'm going to take this hair right here. I just grabbed it from the inside. I'm going to smooth it out with some hairspray. Ribbon it. So now we have a nice ribbon of hair here. And I'm going to twist it into this updo. And then pin it with a bobby pin. And that way we're almost creating a pocket to throw in her flowers that we're gonna put. We're gonna spray. And lastly, so that this hair doesn't move around, we're going to pin this behind and make sure all this hair doesn't move. And that way I can have a line of flowers going right in and everything's gonna be nice and tight. And it's gonna feel secure. That's the most important thing for a bride, is for her hair to feel secure and anchored and strong to withstand all the ceremony she's gonna have to do that day and all the dancing she's gonna do that night. Okay, so I just have a line of bobby pins going up. Everything is really anchored good. It's looking amazing. I mean, come on, I'm in love. Okay, so at this point, what we're gonna do is, oh, you know what, I could add. I'm gonna start working on a little design. I like to do this differently per bride, so this isn't something that I would expect you to like have to copy all the time. It really depends on your bride if she wants any specific designs or any twists or anything. But sometimes I find a piece of hair and I get inspired and I just want to do another loop or something. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do another loop right here. And I'm actually going to loop it through this loop. And I'll pin it in to make sure it doesn't move. Okay, so now we have this cool like design. It's really different. It's not like the other bride. It's kind of fun to have something unique. Even if your bride shows you a picture of something you've already done, I like to add a little touch of uniqueness to all my brides so that it's not an exact copy of someone else's look. All right. So cute. Okay, so now we're gonna start working on the flowers. I bought these from downtown LA. There's a bunch of fake flower shops. So I grabbed these just thinking, okay, these will probably match the best. So reds, pinks, yellows, whatever. This is something that I would expect my bride to bring. This is not something I provide, but for the sake of this tutorial, I wanted to provide it. So I'm going to rip off the flowers so that I can arrange them with bobby pins. And this one, I'm not sure if I can rip off, so I'm probably just gonna have to cut some and create a smaller piece out of it. Okay, I'm gonna find my scissors and cut a little bit. There we go, that was easy. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the orchid. Let's see where the orchid goes. So I'm just placing it where I think it would look best, and my guess is right here. And I will use some bobby pins to pin it into place. So I'm pinning it through a bottom petal, and then I'm going to pin one through the top petal so that it really just doesn't move at all. So this top petal here, I'm putting a bobby pin right through that. There we go. Now it's standing really nice. Next up is this red one that I really liked. So I'm thinking to stick it right under here. And I'm again gonna pin it through the petals. So grabbing a bunch of petals, bobby pinning it right to her hair, doing the same on the other side too. Oh my God, this is like bringing back memories. It's reminding me of my bride. Ooh, oh my God, it looks so good. All right, now time to work some of these yellow ones in. So I think I'll just stick those probably right along the side somewhere. Let's see. I'll probably move them around, like have some in some areas and some in another area too. So if I were to stick this here, just for a little bit there, and then I can put a little bit on the other side too. So let me cut another cluster and stick this maybe right in here, because this area needs a little color. Oh yes. Oh my gosh, this looks so exotic and beautiful and festive. Oh, stunning. I'm so happy with this look. Awesome. Oh, wow. If you saw the back, my dear, you'd be like, oh, I want this for my Mendy. All right, so we have finished our cluster of flowers in the back. And now you can see how beautiful the full hairstyle looks all together. And we could even, loosen this up if we want to. It's still loose enough where we can really play with it and create whatever look we really want. It's just so stunning. So at this point now we can do a final spray, make sure all this looks perfect, and we can kind of revisit this issue here. Do we want to keep all of it, or do we want to just keep some of it? Let me spray it and see what we think. I'm going to scrunch it too so it's really curly. I'll separate these two. Okay, what do we think about these tendrils? Do we keep or do we lose? I guess it's a personal preference. I think I'd like to see it with the earrings. Sometimes we have to do that. We have to see how big something is behind it, and then we can gauge it. Another thing that I do sometimes for my brides is I'll trim the little pieces here so that it doesn't look super long, and then we could use more hair. So let's revisit this. Let's go ahead and apply all the jewelry. Oh my God, it's gonna look so good. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, the outfit and the jewelry is from Vama Designs. She's amazing. I will tag her on my Snapchat so you guys can know who it is. But basically, it's just Vama Designs on Instagram, and I've modeled for her several times. She knows her personally too, and she has this amazing showroom in the Bay Area and does, like, oh my God, the best wedding designs and non-bridal designs, just absolutely stunning. So, okay, let's put on some jewelry here. Maybe, okay, so I have these necklaces here. Who are these necklaces from?
Vama Design.
But these are all Vama too? Oh my God, look at that. Oh Lord, that's so beautiful. And then we also have this one, which we can actually layer because this is longer. So, I mean, we might as well layer them. All right, let's do the big one. So I like to do the necklaces first and then the earrings and all that. So I know this is gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but, oh, well, that was easy. I guess I'm a pro by now. We'll get all this hair out of the way. And I'm gonna bring up this necklace. Stunning, stunning. Wowie. Oh my gosh. That looks absolutely beautiful. Wow, okay. Do we want to layer? Yeah, might as well. For me, it's like if you're getting married, and especially like if your bride is like, I don't know, should I add more or should I not? I usually go for doing more, only because on my wedding, well, not my wedding, but on my Indian events, I was a little bit of a minimalist and I did not do all that heavy jewelry because I thought I didn't like it. But now I look back and I see all these weddings that I've been doing with a ton of jewelry, and now it would be weird if I attended someone else's event with like layers and layers of jewelry on. So I feel like, dang, I got married only once. I should have just done it. I should have just wore everything that I ever wanted to wear and layered it and went crazy, because now if I did it, it would look really odd at someone's wedding. Okay, this looks amazing. Okay, layer, layer, layer. Beautiful. Earrings. Okay, so now I like these tendrils because the earring's so big, it kind of just looks nice. So I think we're good there. And yes, beautiful. So my bride in the picture was not wearing a tikka, she was wearing a bindi. So we have a choice, do we want to do bindi or tikka? We have a tikka available right here. But I feel like it doesn't quite match this, and it's like too matchy-matchy with the earrings, so maybe let's see how it looks with the bindi instead. These bindis are from India, by the way. My aunt picked them up for me when she went. All right, I would say hot pink, you know. Stunning. And why don't we give you just a little touch up, since it's so hot in the studio. We'll brighten up right in here. Looking amazing. Now I'm just going to add one more final bindi, which is like a golden yellow color, which will match her eyeshadow right on the bottom. Oh yes, okay. I think we are official at this point. So I'm gonna give her a full 360 spin so you can see the hair from the back and the sides and all the beautiful angles, and you can take your screenshots if you want. Tell us what you loved about this class, and make sure whenever you post a picture from your classes here on DYFL that you hashtag DressYourFaceLive, so I can see it and I can like your posts. Oh my gosh, look at that wave. All right, here we go. Look at that beautiful side view. We have these nice long tendrils here with the nice long earrings behind it. You can still see all this gorgeous curl going on in the front, and you have this beautiful arrangement right in the back with the custom florals that we created. So you can absolutely help your brides purchase the right flowers or FaceTime them when they're at Michael's Art Supply or wherever they go to buy their florals. Side view, we have this beautiful cascading flippy curl thing. We could even do more of that if you want to add another little flip here. It's absolutely possible, just with another bobby pin going in and grabbing, one more piece. Very simple to do this. And making sure you just pin it right into the back there. And now we have another flippy. So there's a lot of things you can do as far as designing and being creative with your side do's and your side ponytails and all that stuff. It's just got to be unique to everyone, and it's got to flow with their hair too. Everyone's hair is going to curl a little bit differently. So maybe if another bride of mine asks for this exact thing, you know, it's not going to be exact because each of these waves are based on how her hair curled. And then the front again. Oh Lord. So dreamy and so exotic and fun and beautiful and flirty and playful. That's the whole point of this look, is to have a playful yet bridal option for the events for your bride. For yourself, you could, you know, I've done my own side do before. It wasn't as intricate, but I totally did my own side do before. I did that for my engagement party. And it was really nice to be able to do my own hair and to have it pretty simple. So there you have it. That's the full look of class, and hopefully you guys can recreate this and hashtag Dress Your Face Live so I can check out your recreations. You can put it side by side with her picture. I'll post pictures up on Instagram, which you probably by now can see. And until next time, have a great week, and I will see you very soon for our next class.